In this video, I'm going to showcase a website that I completed back in 2022 in my early days of freelancing for CRUZ RV. Let's go! Welcome back to my channel. In this exciting video, I'm going to show you a website that I created all the way back in 2022. This was one of my very first clients that I got in doing freelancing, and I just want to show you what I've done. Surprisingly, the site is still live to this date, which is cruzrv.com.au. As you can see, the copyright is 2022, so that was literally 3 years ago. This specific client was for a couple named Craig and Susan, and they essentially lived the RV life, or if you guys don't know what that is, that's like a motorhome life, like camper van. They'll just drive around and live almost like a digital nomad type thing. Not really, because it's not really digital, but physically in one of these like camper vans. So I was tasked or commissioned to do a website for them, and specifically it serves two things in the website. One is to show the expertise, how they have a lot of experience in living in these camper vans. Then this is specifically done through the website, through the blog page or the resource page, where they'll actually update new information. The second is actually offering services, so specifically RV inspections, buying RVs, RV selling, RV delivery, and advice. So they're really into RVs. That was their passion. And I actually custom designed and built the website in Webflow. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the Figma design. Honestly, I have not looked at this since like 3 years ago. So it's very interesting to see. All I was given was essentially just the logo, and that's pretty much it. And back then, because I was like so new to the whole freelancing thing, I spent a lot of time doing stuff, and I didn't really understand the business part, specifically the magic paper, the money. So definitely looking back at it now, I don't regret anything. Like I'm very gracious that I got the opportunity, but if I was to redo this now at my current level in this under the sun world, I would not be charging what I charge, or I would not invest that much time. So a lot of time was invested, and I was just very, very lucky, praise God, that I got to do this. And there was even a whole backstory, which I won't get into, but essentially the only reason I'm doing freelancing is because of the job that I had previously. The bosses that I had were very, 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 very generous, very, very gracious. That's all I'll say. So that's that. Let's go ahead and just quickly look at it. So originally, I knew back then that the hero design is the most important. You can see this really interesting layout, actually, now that I look at it. But we have a video. So I knew that I wanted to make a video, specifically because a video really just what they do in just a video format. You don't have to write the text. You know, you can put some images, but the video straight away. Then I also researched a couple of text header 1 ideas. And the crazy thing is back then, there was no such thing as ChatGPT. So I had to like think about what's a good, header 1, helping you escape the ordinary through living the RV life. I thought that was pretty cool. The logo on the bottom left, that's pretty cool. And then the scroll to enter the site. And I did this whole thing in Figma, and then had a quote. Then I had this section here. How can we help you? Services. I was obsessed with this feature right here where the text moves left to right. That's why I did that. Tab functionality, free resources, so like a blog CMS, and then just a CTA followed by a footer. And even the footer, looking back at it right now, this is pretty unique in the sense it's 3-column with the logo in the middle. So that's that. And I went through different variations of like where to put the logo. Should I use gradient? What's the main color scheme? Because this wasn't really, it wasn't very specific. They really trusted my expertise. And then I also did some designs for the other pages. But in the end, I believe what I settled was something like this. And you can see the final iteration up here. And that's what I settled with. And I had ideas of like page transitions and all this crazy stuff. But let's go ahead and jump into the Webflow site itself. So we have a sticky navbar at the very top. I believe I might have coded this website using EMS, ephemeral units, because I was obsessed. Yep, I did EMs based on viewport width. That's because I was following Tim Rick's wizardry style, where you use viewport width as the font. Currently, I no longer do that. I use rems or pixels because there's pros and cons using EMs. But that's what I've done. And essentially all that means is that right now I'm actually viewing this website on a 1920 by 1080p like monitor. But if I was to look at this on a laptop, it would look similar, the scalability. So that's that. We have logo, we have the social media links, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, followed by a simple navbar, home, our stories, services, free resources, and get in touch. And you'll notice you're on the home page because we have that box behind it, and there's really nice hover effects and even button hover effects. And then here, I've settled with this image right here. So these 4 images with Craig as the actual main person. Then we just added, or I added, a paragraph text followed by a redacted video. So in the design, I originally had a video like playing, but in this case, it just says play video to learn more, which opens up a YouTube video, which I got him to film. Again, looking back at this now, I could have added that YouTube autoplay feature, which I did a tutorial in the past, where right now, if I hit play video, I have to hit play again, where that automatically plays the video. And I could have made this like YouTube video a bit bigger, but that's cool. Scrolling down, we have a mission statement. And looking back, I could have perhaps put like a parallax effect in the background, but that's cool. Then we have this where we have 2 CTAs, which is get in touch. Then a secondary CTA, which is indicated by a text that's underlined. It's not a pill button, so not like the same button with an outline. It's a text. Then below that, we have the services with really nice hover animations, followed by a secondary button, which I was just referring to, a pill button, so outline button, followed by this specific text effect that I love doing. And I believe this specific text right here, back then, Webflow didn't have the native ability to make a stroke in the text. So this was done through custom code, and I've actually made a tutorial of this in the past. But you no longer have to follow the tutorial because you can do this natively in Webflow. Here is points. So this is actually a tab functionality, and this was pretty tricky to do back then, if I remember correctly. Specifically, how is this on the left-hand side and how is this on the right-hand side? And how are we putting text in here? This was a bit tricky, I do remember that. Then we have free resources, which is blog. Sadly, they don't really upload for some reason, but they still have the website, but that's what that was. This is like a blog functionality. And then here's the CTA, and I had to come up with this CTA. I was pretty cool with it. Like, don't let another year pass by. Let us help you get on the road. It's almost like a sense of urgency. It's like, if you're thinking about living in an RV house, you've been thinking about it for so long. Let us help you, get in touch. And you can see that I've added this background image of like a road, like, are you willing to take the adventure? So I believe this is in Unsplash. Then below this is just a footer similar to the Figma design. That's the home page. Let's quickly fly through the pages. You'll notice that when I switch between pages, it had this page transition effect. So that was pretty cool. Again, mission statement, images right here, this marquee effect, followed by paragraph text with images. And it was a bit difficult getting images in. Like I mentioned in the past videos, what really makes up a website, or 50% of a website, is custom images, custom videos. So they just sent me what images they took on their iPhone, and they're not really like tech savvy. So I just had to make do. I'm looking at this image right now. I probably should have cropped it. You can see this image, like it's kind of weird how there's like the user interface of the phone here, but it's all good. We have to start somewhere. And then we have another image of Craig, followed by this design right here, and then followed by just some images and some more points, and then some services. So let's go to the service page. You can see we have this nice page transition, boom. Then we just have this, which talks about each services in detail. And I wanted the client to film a video explaining each services. So this is kind of a placeholder content, but that was my idea. Then we have free resources right here, which again isn't really populated, but the premise is here where you can read the in-depth, and they can actually make posts about living the RV life, and perhaps for SEO and all that good stuff. So it's very, very basic. This one right here, back to free resources, category tag, header 1, image, followed by a rich text element, which looking back, I probably could have styled this a bit more, like with the quote blocks and the dot points and stuff. But nevertheless, the premise is here. Perhaps what I could have done is I could have had this rich text element on the right-hand side, and on the left, just a very small card that says, we are CRUZ RV, we help you get on the road or something. So that way, when people come across this on Google and they don't know about the company, they can see, what CRUZ RV is about, and perhaps, engage in their services. So that's probably what I could have done better. Then we have finally the contact us page, which looks like this. Get in touch. Here's all the information. Then we have send us a message through a contact form, followed by some images and mission statements and whatnot. Let's quickly look at this on mobile and then we'll conclude it. So inspect, mobile. So right here, I believe I used a custom navbar that I made a tutorial in the past. Sorry, I'm a bit confused because I made this like 3 years ago, but that's cool. And I'm pretty sure I built this whole thing from scratch, like design and development. Then everything just stacks on top of each other. And yeah, even this text works and all this tab functionality works. And that is mobile. So this was a very, very cool project to work on. I mean, at the end of the day, I like started out like very fresh, you know, because there's one thing doing the actual work. For example, if you're a designer, if you're a Webflow developer, and then you can make a website, that's cool. But there's another level to it where like I had to get the client, which I got them through Fiverr. The good thing about Fiverr is they reach out to you, and then you had to like jump on the calls, do client expectation, update the client. And in this specific client, they weren't really tech savvy, but they really trusted me, which, you know, I'm very thankful for. And I just had to jump on a lot of calls and I had to make sure that they understood how to edit the website, etc. So that was all new to me. So that's why I really appreciate this project. It's crazy to look back on, but in the end, like I'm pretty pleased with this website. It looks nice. Without sounding prideful. It was like, this was like less than 5 projects that I had as a freelancer. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video super helpful. Again, my name is Derek Su. I'm a Sydney-based web designer and Webflow developer. Check out more of my videos right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace be with you.